linked a video, and it says the perspective from an honest HoloLive member about Cover being a black company or not. So here's the issue. I have made a career of saying the things that other people are too uncomfortable to say. Kiara's great. Gura's great. I don't watch either of their content. I'm not going to pretend that I do. I saw Kiara make some funny chicken noises. I saw Gawr Gura say, I thought it was funny. I don't really care. It's not really about them. It's kind of about the positions that they're in. And I think this is important to talk about because you have people on the internet who want to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. You have people on the internet who say that Asmongold don't know what he's talking about. And I think this is so dangerous. And the reason why this is because obviously Gawr Gura said that she left, her words verbatim were, there was a disagreement with management and the company. And that's what she said. And that's enough of a nugget to really expand upon the issues with VTuber agencies and companies as a whole. Now, obviously, I would love to listen to Callie. I would love to listen to Kiara. But let me ask you a question, guys. Are both of them still in HoloLive? Yes. And I'm glad we all know that. I know that, of course. But you shouldn't expect anybody to give valid criticisms when they're a part of that organization, when they are, just to give an example, sponsored. If someone's sponsored to play Raid Shadow Legends, it's not really in their best interest to give good, constructive feedback and criticism while they're in that, because it can fuck them over very, very, very hard. I'm going to speak from an outside perspective, and I'm only going to tell you the truth. And these are things that you can look into for yourself. I'm going to do you guys a favor and just kind of talk why I think VTuber agencies are fucking terrible and why they're fucking horrible. And I'm just going to list you guys some facts. And if any, and once again, if any VTuber would like to tell me why I'm wrong, you're more than welcome to. However, to give you guys some little bit of credentials for why the fuck my opinion matters, I have brought many VTubers many opportunities to grow as content creators. About a year to 2 years ago, I was known as the VTuber guy, kind of up there with, what's his name? There's this white dude that talks to every VTuber. What's his fucking name? Nags? Yeah, like Nags. But then unfortunately, a woman wanted to ruin my life, and now it's not good for me to get any VTubers involved in drama. And this is what the important thing to note about VTubers are. VTubers cannot get into drama. They cannot. They cannot. If you're a VTuber and you get into drama, you are fucked. You will be excommunicated, you will be blacklisted, and no one will communicate with you whatsoever. Every VTuber needs to go live with a happy face, say that everything's fine, everything's dandy, unless the drama they're going to bring up is for sympathy to bait people into giving them more super chats. That is the truth. The majority of VTuber drama happens behind the scenes because creators know if they bring that drama to the forefront on stream, they are going to be fucked in their career. Because none of these people want to deal with drama. They just don't. And I would love to know a counterpoint to that. The majority of VTuber drama is dealt from behind the scenes because that's kind of how it goes. Now, let me address the two tweets that Asmongold and I put out, which is this. I put out many. I'm going to read them all in full, leave out zero context, and then I'll address the counterpoints. So, if anyone is shocked by Gura's decision to leave HoloLive and her main reason is due to company's direction, y'all need to understand how shit VTuber orgs are. Ownership of identity, predatory cuts of revenue. It's insane how VTubers want to lock into VTuber organizations to begin with. Things need to change. VTubers deserve better. If you're wondering how anybody took offense to that, well, that's because people are retarded. Asmongold follows up by saying, compared to traditional orgs and streaming agencies, VTuber-centric orgs are often exploitive, to say the least. They seem to be a vestigial function of idle management groups in primarily Japan, so I hope it will keep dying as VTubers realize they have other options now. These VTuber orgs need to understand that the VTubers make the org, not the other way around. I follow up to say, guys, Gawr will be fine. She's an amazingly talented VTuber and streamer, one of the most subscribed VTubers of all time. Hopefully this will lead to more VTubers leaving big corporations that were taking massive cut of their earnings. VTubers make the orgs, not the other way around. Support independent VTubers. Let's go again, once again. Final note for now, if Guru is saying it's bad for her, you need to understand that it's even worse for lesser known VTubers in the HoloLives roster. Those who don't have the massive outreach and popularity that she does, again, support independent VTubers. Now, I am going to tell you guys some truths. And these are truths that the companies don't want you to know about. Will I get in trouble? Man, I sure hope not. So out of plausible deniability for myself, I will not mention any specific company that does this. But feel free to ask your streamers what their companies demand of them. I am going to peel back the curtain, and I am going to let you guys know some things I've never admitted on stream. About 3 years ago, I was approached by a content organization. This is not OTK. This is not OTK. That offered me $12,000 a month to merely be in their org and rep their organization. They said they would help me with any of my content for free, as long as I said I was a part of their organization. I turned this down. Now, you might ask me why I turned this down, and that is because I went and I got an offer from another group of streamers called OTK. OTK offered me to join their organization. I'm not going to say how much, but I was paid an amount much smaller than that, because I wasn't really joining the org to build it. I knew that OTK could build me up. No strings attached. Just say I'm part of the org, do content with them. I get paid X amount of dollars. It wasn't really that crazy just to be a part of the org. And I will say, full disclosure, I loved this org so much. I said, I'd rather just join for free. I don't need money. I do not need it. I would just be proud to be a part of your organization. And I was for around 3 years because I loved everybody in that org. I mean, majorly just Asmongold, just to be completely honest. But the other creators were pretty cool. I mean, I saw a couple Seer videos back when he used to do shit with Onision. S-Fan seemed like a pretty nice guy. Rich Campbell used to be in my chat all the time, and he played gacha games. And Miskiff seemed funny. You know what I mean? I had no idea who the fuck Nick was. But yeah, I joined. And what they did was anything I ever needed, they said, we'll help you. Anything I was ever struggling with, they said, we'll help you. And I had opportunities to collab with other creators that I would have never had the opportunity to collab with, ever. Now, let me tell you what VTuber agencies do. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Yeah. Y'all gonna be mad as shit. Because I'm gonna just say it. And you guys can figure out what companies I'm talking about. So here's what's fun. You join a VTubing agency and they say, oh yeah, your identity, we own it. If you ever leave, you lose your identity. Let's go even further. Oh yeah, your sub revenue, your merch revenue, we get between 20 to 50%. Guys, there are some creators where they don't get any percent. Yep. They say, well, you need to pay us back for us making you, so you don't get any percent. You want to know why? Because Japan idol culture normalized that. Yep. Japan's idol culture normalized that. Because these companies want to say, well, we made you, so you owe us. Yep. And you know what everybody else in these orgs say? Well, I do it and it's fine. I'm just happy to be a creator. Normal streaming orgs pay you money to be in it. VTuber streaming orgs demand money from you for it. Now, I will say, of all of the VTuber orgs, I would just like to say Vshojo's probably the least bad, because at least you get to keep your identity. And I think that is so important. I think that is so important. Now, I'm not going to say they're not doing other things that are bad, but I would say kudos to them for at least allowing your VTubers to keep their identity. Thank God, we've done the bare minimum, boys. We've done the bare minimum. And you know what's crazy? These people are so fucking dumb. There are even people in my chat saying that goes everywhere. Like legit. Hold up, there's more. There's more. I saw another guy. Okay. Brother, it's not our fault that you don't get it. It is not our fault that you don't get it. And if you don't understand that these streamers who go live every day and stream for 8, 10 hours, getting their money taken away from them, getting their identity taken away from them, that is not a good thing at all. Because then these people, they become like pseudo slaves where they become terrified to ever leave, besides ones who are so big that they can live and make a name for themselves elsewhere, like the Kasons, like the Guras, who can afford to leave, make a new identity, and know their viewership are still there. Oh, here's a great one. You're partially wrong. Okay, go ahead. Nah, Hollow's better. Identity doesn't matter. You will earn more money in Hollow. Okay. I'm gonna explain this to you one more time. And I'm gonna hope that you get it. And I'm gonna say this and hopefully that you can understand this. No content org should have the right to take your identity. No content org should have the right to take your earnings for just being a part of their org. The girls earned that. They earned it. We don't need this shit where they're taking 20%, 40%, 60% in perpetuity. And if you ever leave, your identity is gone. If you can't understand why that's bad, I don't know what to tell you. And the problem is that for the smaller creators who won't have that resurgence once they leave, and they think they'll be fucked, that fear keeps them in there forever. It does. It keeps them in there forever. It's terrible. It is. You get into any drama behind the scenes and you're booted out. There's no security. It's fucked up. Now, unfortunately, it's not your guys' fault. Case in point, the Doki Bird situation. Yeah, but but here's the thing about Doki Bird, man. That happened 3 months ago, and the internet has already forgotten about that. Yeah, you don't get it. That was 3 months ago, and the internet just says, oh, I don't remember it. I don't remember it, so it didn't happen. But you guys need to understand that these VTuber orgs are fucking shit. They're terrible, and they should not be celebrated. And the problem is that so much responsibility and so much expectations lie on these independent VTubers to join these orgs, when in reality, people should just be happier that girls can be independent. But the other problem is there's a lot of VTuber orgs that say you're only gonna do content with your org members. And so a lot of people want to join these orgs to have collaborations with these VTubers that they respect and look up to, and then they realize, oh fuck, I fell on the net. Now I'm fucked too. And it sucks. But forcing collaborations, taking a cut of their revenue, and taking your identity when you leave, if your company has any of these, I think you're a shit company. Now, you can tell me why I'm wrong, and I want to say, I think it's an absolutely fair point when people say, well, Techie, if smaller creators join this company and they get a career just because they're a part of this, then the company should get a cut of their earnings. And if that's the case, sure, I absolutely agree. Yeah, if they weren't going to be anything without these companies, yeah, sure, it's the least they can do. However, having a permanent revenue split in perpetuity, That's ridiculous. And you'll never change my mind on that. Case in point, and TLDR, I would just like VTubers to be treated like regular streamers. When a regular non-VTuber streamer joins an org, they get money and they get assistance. When a VTuber joins an organization, they lose money and they even lose their identity. You will never make that make sense to me. It's bullshit, it's predatory, and everybody fucking knows it. And let me tell you something even worse. There's a VTuber, and I'm not going to say who it is, that was being paid $500 at 3,000 CCV for an energy drink company that I was being paid for $10,000 at 3,000 CCV. Same concurrent viewership, a factor of 20, I was being paid more than. And you want to know why? Because they said VTubers get weird when you talk about financial stuff. VTubers get weird about money, so we just don't talk about it. So I didn't know I was getting fucked. And they got locked into that contract for over 2 years. Guys, they lost over $200,000 from that deal. They lost over $200,000. And that is why I try to help anybody that I know, friend or not, to get into Mythic Talent, a talent agency that actually treats their VTubers and their creators fucking well. It is so important to be able to talk about serious issues. It is so important to talk about money. I don't know why this upsets anybody. I don't know why this makes people think that I'm grifting. I have been talking about the proper treatment of VTubers for well over 3 fucking years. There's a reason why I help Mythic Talent so much. I was the guy who connected the agents to the VTubers. And I'm sure there is well over, I think about like what, 112 just VTubers of how I've gotten them, not even into Mythic, just into agencies in general, because as much as I love Mythic, it's not a perfect fit for everybody. It's not. But I make sure I connect creators to the proper agency, to the proper investor, to the proper tax guy, as much as I possibly fucking can, because I don't like seeing creators get fucked over. So yes, while this may not necessarily be about Gura, she will be fine. This is more about the companies themselves, and I don't think that companies treat their VTubers well. And that's just the truth. Feel free to prove me wrong, but I'm going to be real. If you're going to somebody who's inside these companies to ask for their opinion on how the company's being run, and you don't think that would get them into shit for speaking truthfully, well, you're just wrong. Why don't you do this? If you don't trust me, why don't you just ask some people who have left these VTuber organizations how they feel, and I bet you their response will be, I don't feel comfortable talking about this. So yes, I am attempting to say the things they can't say. I am attempting to be the voice of the voiceless. And it would be pretty nice to not get so much pushback for merely telling the truth. Hope this helps.